Lost Soul Aside might be one of the most disappointing games of this year for me personally. I just got done playing quite a bit of it, and honestly, I couldn't get myself to continue playing the game because of how lackluster it was. First off, if this is a game that you're looking to purchase or play, I highly recommend that you guys play the demo. Do not buy this game until you play the demo to get a feel for that gameplay and kind of get an idea of what this game is going to be like. Whether you're on PC or PlayStation, you're going to want to experience this before you go ahead and buy the game. But as far as my experience goes with this game, I've decided to really just leave this game behind at this point. I think I've had my fill of it, and I think that this game just genuinely is not for me. Now, a lot of you might ask, hey, why is that the case? Why is this game not for you? It looked pretty good in the previews. You know, we've seen some of this game for the last 10 years, and it's finally here. What is the issue? Well, there's quite a few different problems that I have with this game, but let's start off with the fact that the PC performance is very, very underwhelming. And I hear that the PS5 performance is not the greatest either, although I've heard more positivity on the PlayStation 5 front rather than on the PC. But I decided to go PC because of my hopes of experiencing it at the best I possibly could. Now, this game's performance being one issue, but what specifically is the problem? Well, frame drops, textures not loading in properly, a lot of texture pop-in as well. Draw distance is not really making any sense, and this is running on cinematic, which is the highest level of fidelity, and it just was a problem the entire time. And then the frame rates being all over the place with stuttering that definitely takes you out of the experience. So there was a lot performance-wise that just wasn't doing it for me, and really had me concerned for why this game had so many issues given its time and development. But let's put that aside. Let's say that we're not even going to judge it just based on its lack of performance. Let's look at the other issues that I personally had with it, which is very much the fundamentals of the game, which I think is really hard to ignore. It's very hard to ignore just how stiff the movement feels. This game does not feel great to play. It feels stiff, it feels janky, it feels clunky, it does not feel smooth and satisfying to play. Whether you're moving around, even the movements are very stiff, animations very stiff, the camera movements very stiff. It just doesn't flow right. Factor in you're also going to be doing some platforming, which again is doable, but it's just not smooth, and the experience overall is not great. So it's hard to say that I enjoyed even traversing around the world here. The movement was just so, well, stiff. Stiff is the best word I can think of here. And that was a big, big red flag for me playing the game right off the bat. Like, this is not going to be a great experience. Now, next thing that I really didn't like was the combat. It felt really shallow. It didn't feel satisfying to land hits or execute combos. The entire combat system just really felt like a mediocre Devil May Cry. And now I know the other argument could be, hey, this isn't a huge development team. I think something about 40-ish people started off with one guy. And I get that. I definitely get that. But, 10 years down the road, really just not a satisfying experience as far as gameplay and performance goes. But I have more complaints, despite those things that already put it off to a pretty bad start. I had issues with the music, which for some reason would just randomly cut out, and then it cut in, and then it would loop, and then it would stop, and then it would come back. It just was all over the place. It really felt like a broken soundtrack. It didn't feel like it was supposed to do that at all, and I don't think that was the intended experience. It seems like they must have to drop another major patch for this, despite the day one patch that would resolve this issue. We also have what felt like pretty bad voice acting. It didn't really land like at all. It's very much a situation where we talked pretty badly about Forspoken. We said Forspoken's voice acting was horrendous. We talked about how bad and cringy it was, and honestly, this game is no better. To me, the little dragon thing, Arena, which is an interesting name, is no better than the Cuff. It really is a loud, obnoxious, annoying voice in the game that thinks it's funny at times, which it just isn't. and it really just feels like a version 2.0 of Forspoken in that sense. So honestly, just really not landing as far as impact on the voice acting either, which really puts us into our next thing with the story. The story is not great. It's not good. It's not okay. It feels like a very generic tale. Like, oh my god, somebody has lost their soul. We gotta go find what it takes to bring her soul back. And I get it. There's going to be twists and turns, and there's going to be other types of things that happen. Obviously, I haven't completed the game, so I can't really speak on the story as a whole, but based on what I've experienced, it just, yeah, it's not appealing. It's not enticing to even want to find out what happens. As far as the characters go, they look kind of generic with the exception of one character, the girl with the monocle, which looked cool, but still nobody that stands out. It's really just one of the least enticing narratives, especially for the first few hours, that I've ever experienced. There is nothing here that makes me want to say, wow, I need to know what happens in the end. Nothing, not a thing. I have no attachment to any of the characters. I have no love for any of the characters. It lacks everything that I personally need from an action-adventure game. Lastly, I want to touch up on one more thing, which is the puzzles. The puzzles seem quite simple, not very layered, nothing new and innovative, very, very much recycled mechanics that we've seen in other games. Hey, go destroy these objectives to unlock the path. And it's like, okay, I guess there's just truly nothing here that lights a spark, at least not for me. So that's where I sit with Lost Soul aside, and that's kind of where I'm going to leave it. I'm really not looking to return to this game. I am disappointed because of its long time frame of development, but in truth, it's just nothing there that really makes me want to go back to it. And I do wonder, anyone else buying this game, would they feel the same way? Which is why I say I highly recommend that you guys play the demo. Play the demo first. Make sure you experience that demo, because you may really not click with the movement and the gameplay. And if you don't like that demo with the movement and the gameplay, a very good chance you're not going to like the game. So really keep that in mind before you go out and pick up this game. Given I haven't finished the game, I don't really like giving a review score or a rating score, because this is more of like a first impressions or why I stopped playing the game, why I quit playing the game. But if I were to give it a review score, in truth, if I truly was to give this a review score, honestly, it'd be somewhere between a 5 and a 6 out of 10. It just lacks so much. But let me know what you guys think about Lost Soul Aside. Does this game look good to you? Have you played the demo? What are your thoughts? Are you going to pick this game up? Let me know down below. As always, if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and share the video to help grow our community. I thank you all for watching. Take care.